Sorry there, my camera just cut out. But so as I was saying, um, I don't even know what I was saying in all honesty. Um, but then so I'm just gonna pick it up from wherever I feel like I left off. But so then so he's in the mindset of like he needs to say Hulk, to survive. If he changes into Bruce Banner, he's gonna die. And so that's kind of how it is right now. That's kind of how it was for the past 2 years. Is he's like okay, um, because in the comics they actually explain a little bit better. Of Bruce Banner knows, like he has control of Hulk's mind a little bit, so it's like half Hulk brain, half Banner brain. And so I wish they would have incorporated that into the movie because that would have been like really cool to actually see like he does have the mindset of being Banner, but he also has the I need to be Hulk kind of brain of like to survive I need to be Hulk. I can't change back into puny Banner. I'm gonna die if I do that. But so um, then you see before Thor even sees Hulk and knows that Hulk's there is he gets uh, brought to the Grand Master or whatever his name is, High Master. I think it might be Grand Master actually. Like because I didn't think I said that in the last video. I think I said High Master. I think it's Grand Master. Actually, now that I think of it, but so then he sits there and they're like, oh well, you're now going to be a prisoner, and you're gonna have to fight uh, his the Grandmaster's champion. No one knows who the Grandmaster champion is until um they sit there and they like everyone already kind of knew who it was because they had anticipated this fight the whole movie. Even before the movie came out, everyone was like, oh my goodness, Hulk's gonna be in it, yes. And so you already knew that his prize champion was probably gonna be Hulk because let's be honest here, Hulk is a badass and he is gonna kill he's gonna kill and win to stay alive. um because it was either kill or be killed kind of thing, sort of, except for uh, Hulk, for Thor. He kind of was the exception. But I did like it how when that the Grandmaster could not get his name right, that he kept calling him, I think Lord of Thunder or something like that. It was just so bizarre and just hilarious. Um, like that's kind of like the comedy that they had in it of like just little bits and pieces of different things. Um, and so then you sit there and you see Hulk finally, um, and you see that for most of the fight it actually because you see in the commercial that he's just sitting, he's like, oh, we had a fight, oh, who won, and he's like, oh, me, of course. And everyone thought that was funny because like that you don't think he's actually gonna win it. He actually, for the most part of the fight, he actually is winning. For like he's sitting there, bam, bam, and actually winning without his hammer, and that was pretty amazing. He did have other weapons though with him, so he and but also Hulk had weapons with him. He had the armor on his arm. Uh, that was really cool to actually see that he had the armor, the helmet, and that and it was just really awesome just to see it all of how they put that all together. Um, and then you have them fight, and then uh, Thor ends up he does end up losing, but for the a good, as I said before, a good portion of the fight, he actually is really winning. It was amazing to actually see that. But so then um, then it's after it. He's still alive. And instead of putting him back in the cell that he actually was in, because that's how he met other contestants of the Grandmaster's fights. Was he was in like imprisoned a little bit, kind of, and he met other people. Um, but you only really see that he met like one other person. And he actually he becomes somewhat of a big character, but either way, um, still. And I'm pretty sure that actually that character in the comics, he actually was a bigger part in like Planet Hulk, that he was a big part of it. Was and that he actually was one of Hulk's like right hand mans. And in the movie, they don't make him seem as strong as he actually was in the comics. In the comics, he actually was a really strong character. Um, but he isn't seen as that strong of a character in the movie. So I would have kind of hoped that they did a little bit more of like, oh, he is a strong person. He knows this, but no, they made him kind of a weak character. Um, so then, um, and then you sit there and because Hulk knocks Thor out, and then Thor wakes up in Hulk's like penthouse. It was actually pretty nice. I did like that. Um, to actually a naked Hulk. Um, when I was actually watching it, I couldn't see really well of like because when they do the bathtub scene of Hulk sitting there in or the jacuzzi or whatever the heck it is. I think it might be a hot tub. I don't really know. But they're sitting there and he wakes up and Hulk's in the hot tub. I couldn't really see what was actually in the hot tub. I was kind of like, why are they doing a scene of the hot tub? Okay, that's cool. A Hulk has a hot tub. That's cool. But apparently he was sitting in there. I did not see that Hulk was sitting there, sitting in the hot tub, just chilling, staring at staring at Thor. Did not see that until he's like moving around in the hot tub, and then he like gets up and everything like that and gets out of the hot tub. And so then um and then Hulk clearly somewhat knows who Thor is. I think he has more of Hulk brain, because Bruce Banner would have been like, oh my goodness, it is Thor. And so I kind of think that it's all Hulk brain. There is no Bruce Banner really in there at all until he finally breaks out. Until Thor finally breaks out. Somehow Hulk ends up just randomly coming with, just being like, yeah, let's go, let's just tag along. Um, and then that was a very interesting thing. And then when they get to the Quinjet of Hulk and Thor get to the Quinjet. Oh, because that was Thor's goal, was he needed to get to the Quinjet, because he knew that if he could get that thing started up, he was flying out, he was getting back to Asgard, and he was going to try to save his people. Then Hulk just comes up and destroys the Quinjet. And then when he finally calms down, Thor actually ends up saying what Natasha Romanoff says in Avengers, Age of Ultron, of the sun's getting real low, and stuff like that. And he finally ends up calming Hulk down and getting him to change back into Bruce. And it is the first time that Bruce Banner makes an appearance since 2 years of being Hulk. So then, and he's just paranoid because he has clearly there is a big difference between Hulk and Hulk and Bruce Banner's brain, because Hulk knew where he was. Bruce Banner has no idea where he is, how he got there, anything. I'm pretty sure he ends up saying in it of like the last thing he knew. The last thing he remembers was was Age of Ultron. That was it. That's all he remembered, was that he was in Sokovia, and that was it. That's all he remembers, and he didn't even know what happens. He doesn't know what the result of Sokovia is. And then they sit there and then they're like, oh well, we somehow have to get uh thing a ride to get out of here somehow. Then they finally talk. I cannot remember her name to save my life. The one girl that traps Thor and like sells him to the Grand Master. They sit there and because she's like a really good pilot, and so they're like, oh, we gotta get her to fly, and and then they end up getting a yeah, a I don't know what to really call them because they're like not starships, but sort of are. Yeah, I can't remember what they called them, but then they end up like stealing it from the Grand Master. I love that and I love the way they end up stealing was with Loki. It was Thor gets Loki to be no, I lie. I'm so sorry. The girl ends up capturing Loki, and is like, I know who you are and stuff like that, and so he's kind of like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here, or she's gonna tell the Grand Master like, who am I? And he's like, I don't really want him to know who I am, so he's kind of like, oh, I gotta get out, and so then she ends up just getting him, and then that's her bargaining thing was to become part of Thor's team was that she was just gonna hand over Loki and stuff like that to him, and so then I did like how they end up getting the whatever you want to call it, the starship, whatever it is, their way out of this place was he's just there and they're like, oh, as they're in the elevator, that was my favorite scene was the elevator scene, was because like that was one of the also the humor scenes was they're sitting there going up, riding up in the elevator, and Thor turns to Loki and he's like, so how are we gonna do this? What plan are we doing? And he's like, oh, and then Thor's like, oh, how about we do the give me help thing? And I was sitting there and I was like, what's this give me help plan? And he's like, no, not and Loki's like, oh, no, not that one. That one stinks. And then you end up finally seeing what it actually is. It is hilarious. It is Thor comes with in with Loki on his like holding up Loki, sitting there yelling, get help, my brother needs help. And then and ends up uh just faking it, and then putting this electric chip like on Loki's neck that Thor himself has had on his neck for like since he got to the planet, and puts the little chip thing on to Loki's neck, zaps him, and so then he's just like, oh, and so and then gets the ride. And then they end. Before that, though, they end up like breaking everyone who is imprisoned, basically breaking them free. Just break free, jailbreak. Woo! That was pretty interesting. And then of them, and then the one guy, who's sitting there leading the group, he has no idea what the heck he's actually really doing. Like how to lead anything. He just is like, okay, we're as he says in the movie, oh, we're gonna steal that starship, yeah. Oh no, we're gonna steal that starship, yeah. Wanna come? He always was sitting there like offering people like, hey, you wanna come? You wanna come with us? Oh, we're gonna go over. We're gonna go to this place. Wanna come? And like people would be like, oh yeah, sure. So then and he ends up becoming like a really big help in the movie too. Like towards the ending of the movie, because you don't see him until like almost the end. And then they finally I love the name of the like wormhole that they have to go through. They nickname it the Devil's Anus. Oh my goodness. me and the people that I went to go see it with, we were just in there just laughing, and we're like, "What the heck is this serious right now?" They named this thing the Devil's Anus. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Marvel, for this humor. And then they end up flying into it and getting back to Asgard. Um, actually, I lied. I don't think they actually get to Asgard. I think they get to like the outer space, like outer portion of Asgard. You actually learn that Asgard actually was like a place in space of like, if you really wanted to, you could if you knew where the heck you were going, you could like fly, like almost like in Guardians of the Galaxy, fly like their Milano and kind of fly in, and you could just be at Asgard. Um, I didn't even know that I didn't really know that was actually how Asgard was set up. Was it was in the stars? I thought it was just kind of like I didn't even really know how to describe it, what the heck it was, but that was actually really interesting to find out because they end up flying in, and then and like the whole time the woman is in there like, oh, to Bruce, because Bruce is still Bruce is still Bruce. He's not Hulk. He hasn't changed into Hulk. And he's really afraid to change into Hulk though too. He's really nervous because he doesn't want to become Hulk. He doesn't want to become Hulk again. And he kind of is like, I'm done. I'm not gonna be Hulk. Nope, no more. And and the woman's just sitting there, and she's like, you look. She's like, you seem very familiar. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you've been spending the past like 2 years with him, but you just didn't know. Um, so then then they end up getting back to Asgard, and all that jazz. Um, get there and just see all the destruction that Helena has done. Oh my god, oh man, it was insane. With all the killing she's done, she's killed a lot of Asgardian soldiers. Like they're done, they're gone. She actually ends up rising the army of like her army of dead people. That was bizarre. And then all the Asgardian people are like you sit there and you kind of wonder like where the heck are they, and then you end up seeing that Amdal has actually taken them like under his wing, and he knew about this like secret place that Helena does not, and that's where he ends up taking all the Asgardians. Is like, okay, hey, this is a safe place. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna just ride it out. And then um then when they get there, they're like, okay, we gotta somehow get everyone out. And so I think they end up telling the guy, I think his name is Creed or something, Krieg, something like that, somewhere close to that. One of the prisoners the one who's like, oh, you want to come to everything? They end up telling him to like meet them at Asgard because they knew, because Thor already knew just how bad it was in Asgard at the time, and that they needed to get the Asgardians out of there. Um, and the bad thing was that they didn't know how they were gonna win against Helena, and that there was really no way to win against Helena. And so then they sit there, and and so then they're sitting there trying to figure out like how are we gonna like like beat her and stuff like that. And then Thor remembers the prophecy that at the beginning of the movie, the guy that he's fighting, he sits there and he speaks of a prophecy and that he needs to be reunited with this like internal flame or something like that, and that if he does, then he can complete his quest of destroying Asgard. And so that's what they end up using, and they're like, okay, we can use that to our advantage. Like, oh, we could use this guy to